key thing here, guys, is darker beers. And lager beers are effervescent, thirst-quenching beers, right? They are matured for at least 50 days. They are very, very quick, zippy off the palate, very, very refreshing. These good dark beers are... lager really is an effervescent thirst quencher. A darker beer like this is richly flavoured, slow release session beer. Significant difference in the brewing, in the material, and in the recipe. Absolutely. These are ancient beers. Lagers are relatively young beers. Yeah. They are meant for people working hard in a very hot environment, and they are extremely refreshing. The substance and the actual background is very, very different. To get the best out of the darker beers, this will help. Flatten the glass. Pour it slowly. What you're doing here is you're slowing down the rate at which beer is going into the glass. Leave it stand. Depending on how you're fixed in trade, it isn't always going to be possible to do this, but adapt it for as practically as best you can get out of it, or not, whichever is your choice. So, what I'll do, and I'll show you with that beer, you can put 568 liquid mils of beer into the glass, and then a huge performing ale head on top. The flavour of it is significantly enhanced, and the presentation is huge because the structure of the beer has it. Okay? Build it in layers. As I'm putting it up, I'm watching the bubble size. It's vital. Well presented beer and good beers like this are capable of throwing what's called uniform bubble size. In other words, that you have a tight white foam head, which will allow you to keep the head on the beer all the way up to the top of the glass and then over if you want to, and then it'll stay on the beer all the way down, and it'll also lace the inside of the glass. So this bubble size is vital in that. Yeah. So try and go for something along that size. You'll know by the colour of it. Right. And if you can avoid it all, big bubbles or different sizes of bubbles in the head, because the bigger the bubble, the easier the collapse. Sure. When you have it there, it'll start going back on you. So if you can...
How do you avoid the bigger bubbles?
Now, slowly pouring, using the side of the glass and pouring in stages. Yeah. Because even if you get one, if you're pouring in stages like that, there's a good chance you'll be able to actually dissipate it before you actually present it.
Gotcha.
So the longer you're working with it, the better the chance you get rid of it.
Are you hooked up to any other system? Are you just straight to the keg here? Do you have any CO2?
Straight to the keg, we have a CO2 push.
You do?
No nitrogen, just CO2.
And what is your pressure?
Good. I have to check it out to another.
Okay. Do you mind me asking that question?
Please, not at all.
Back in the room.
Yes. You were going to think of that question.
Wow.
That's just a full empty.
Yeah, that's...
We haven't got an actual beer.
Your cup might be on the pressure gauge inside, is it?
Guys, if you give me your email, I'll email the pressure.
Okay,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we have the actual keg pressure and we have the push gas.
Which, that's how we serve it also. So I just wanted to make sure all our variables are the same.
So another feature that helps is that by the time you're actually serving this, it'll be up over 8 degrees Celsius in the glass.
Right, so it warms up.
It's warming up, and the darker beers need a little bit of temperature. The lager beers are zippy, effervescent beers, and the cooling and the chill temperature is part of the experience of effervescence. You know, lovely, chilling you off. This is quick off the palate, in, gone, out. That's the real drive from a lager beer. These are the total opposite. They're big, rich flavoured beers, and the longer they are on the palate, the better the quality of the beer. So the higher temperature helps to stay that way and bring it through and out. So just a little bit of temperature, and even the stand on the barrier brings it up half degree to a degree, and it does help.
So
That's overfilled.
it's up there.
Okay, just deliberately made a mistake here. I'm going to recover that for you.
Yeah.
But I just want to show you that's overfilled because you have too much head on it. And while it can be acceptable to a lot, if you want to do it right and you want to get the best finish of it, this is the one to go for. And you can actually see the difference. There's a slight difference in the foam on it, isn't there?
Sure, yeah.
It's almost that one's concave, just a touch in the center where that's...
Yep.
Exactly. And when you're going on, you see me trying to finish these now, you see how much easier this one is. Okay, so that appearance, roughly that size. Between the index, let's say the crease on your finger on your index there, whatever height. Roughly around that, anywhere around that is gone. This is a bit too much. Now, see the way I've just lifted it up?
Yep.
I'll just let that settle for a second, and once I can finish now by surging, which means go straight down with a clean fill of beer, it'll push the head up clear of it and it'll stay on it. This one will take a lot more time just to get something acceptable and not something great, but this one will finish perfectly for me.
That's awesome.
That is good. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Now, and by going towards us, you are controlling the flow of nitrogen?
Beer.
Well, CO2, I mean?
You see, they're after changing the taps in the States.
Do you have a dual pull like that, David? Can you get...
Yeah, but it doesn't go back as far.
Yeah, okay.
It's restricted.
Okay, but you are still able to bring in some gas. When
Yes.
That's all you need to do.
Right, okay.
And it's just to, to work with it and slowly practice away.
Look at that.
That's the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And if the beer has the quality, it'll hold that for you. And it'll lace the glass all the way down the inside
Yeah.
to stay on the top of it. To go and rinse. And that's lacing and that's good.
Right.
If you can get that. So, not easy, guys, but
Yeah.
it's okay, but nothing the same.
No.
It's decent,
Almost
but
too much.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And my problem was that I left it too much, and I deliberately did to show you. If you can just keep it a little bit higher than the crease there, whatever size that is,
Yeah.
before you let it set, and then tighten, and then lift it.
Yeah.